Sup, gigglers?
Gary, fix the Wi-Fi.
Manifest that shit.
We can't be managed. I mean, the day just got away from me.
Hello, my garbanzo bean gigglers.
So funny that you just said beans because I've been in like my bean era.
You're in your bean girl era?
Yeah, I've been eating just like straight up lima beans.
Okay, you gassy.
Have you seen the pictures of Jonah Hill surfacing? What's going on? What's going on?
He's very skinny.
He's very skinny. I just like now I can't even look at him because it's like every time I say that like I want to date someone, I don't get how this keeps happening.
So was it just that one photo people were posting where he looks like he's on Ozempic?
He looks like he's on Ozempic. He's also dressed like that. That is the classic like style of a guy that I don't like. Like I don't like that like I don't know, what would I classify it as? Like a Brooklyn hipster style where like their pants are like above their ankle and like it's like dress pants but they're like not. Like I hate that style.
He could be a painter.
Yeah, he like goes to like slam poetry. You know?
Yeah, he like makes his own toothpaste.
And his toothbrush is like a wooden brush and then it's like he made like the bristles. Yeah, and he has like different mugs and they're like don't all match, but he's like it's quirky. It's like different mugs and like teacups.
He only drinks coffee from Nicaragua.
Yes. He's like very against like Colombian beans and he's only into like Nicaraguan coffee that's like made by like a tribe of like just women.
He only wears jewelry that his friend who's a metal worker makes for him, customized.
Yeah, customized rings that don't really fit. It's like all one size because the guy doesn't know how to like size it.
And he spends like $400 on haircuts. To look like his parents don't pay his rent.
Yes. He's not spending money on things you would like think he's spending money on. He spends it on like stickers and
like old albums.
Yes, like he's going to auctions for like old like first released like vinyls and stuff.
And he'll bring a girl back and be like, let me show you my vinyl. And she's like, I'm good.
Yes.
I think I'll be fine if I don't see that. I think my day would be better if I...
And he calls all shoes moccasins.
He cleans his whole apartment with olive oil.
Yes. And like a little apple cider vinegar. Like just a hint, just a tinge. Also, one other thing for the girlies, I legit thought that I was dying the other day because well, first off, let me just say this. I saw this TikTok, like, I'm not kidding, like 6 months ago, and it still haunted me, where this girl thought that she was, like, getting her period really bad, and then straight up her, like, uterus, like, fell out of her vagina.
No.
And I, ever since that TikTok, have been, like, really paranoid. So the other night, I'm sitting on the couch, okay? Craig and I had just had, and I'm getting this like shooting pain in my stomach, and I'm like, no, something's like not right. And I was like, oh, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just having like a period cramp. I'm laying on the couch with tears running down my eyes, but I'm not crying. Craig looks at me and he goes, what the is happening? Are you are you in that much pain that you're crying? And I was like, yeah, but it's just like period pain. So I'm not like having a full cry. And he's like, girls are so insane. I sat on the toilet for like 15 minutes. I thought I was passing a kidney stone. I was screaming, crying hysterical. I started to get dizzy. I thought I was going to pass out, hit my head on the tub. I was going to die. Craig was so nervous I was going to die and that people were going to think it was him. He was like, you should call your mom. You should tell your mom what's happening. And then I called my mom and she was just like, I mean, go to urgent care or something. But then it went away. But I have to go to the gynecologist because something was not right.
I was going to say your appendix, but both of our appendix have already burst. Humble brag.
Humble brag. We don't have appendix. We don't need them.
I feel like a soldier that I survived my appendix. My appendix was during chat room. I was
Yeah.
filming an episode and I thought that I had diarrhea. And I
Yeah.
was just like, oh God.
No, it's one of the weirdest feelings. You like think you're, and then I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm like, am I going to be one of those girls that like I didn't know I was pregnant? And like
See, that's
I just
another thing.
have a baby.
A little baby just plops into the toilet and you're like,
No.
oopsie.
No.
That's a new fear unlocked. I'm still not over, what is it called? Those like little things that girls were
Like the parasite cleanses.
the parasite cleanses.
Yeah. But it wasn't like I had to go to the bathroom. It was like I was bloated, but only like in the front of my body. Like it was like in my vagina.
I'm going to be honest with you. Being a woman is like, we don't know half the things that are going on with our bodies. Like yesterday, my boobs hurt so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I was PMSing. But like everything that happens, you're like, I could be pregnant. Like I'll be like, this sandwich tastes good. I'm pregnant.
No, I literally, then Craig put on this show about like in the Amazon, these like 2 different tribes of like monkeys and how they like fight against each other. And like there's like a war and there was like one of them. Then like it was like, oh, this is Gus. Like no one ever wants to play with Gus. And I started crying hysterically because I was like, that's so sad that no one ever wants to play with him. And,
Yeah.
and Craig was like, I don't think I've ever seen you shed a tear for a baby or an animal in like the 3 years that I've known you.
Leave Gus alone.
Like, and I couldn't stop.
He's like, I bought you a penguin that you've never checked on. Well, the penguin was a scam.
Yeah,
right?
that was a scam.
I was bike riding today. And speaking of pain, bikes hurt my pubic bones so
Yeah.
bad. Like, you know how you have orbital bone issues? I have
Mhm.
pubic bone issues. I don't know if my pubic bone's too big, too small. It's like why I can't do Soul Cycle. Does no one else's pubic bones hurt?
Yeah, I can't do it. But then I think like, where were you going?
I was going to play tennis, and it was a fun bike ride there, but the bike ride back, the wind was so strong, I was going backwards. I almost started crying. And then Des was driving because he was going to his some like doctor appointment, and he just started laughing and passed me in the car, and I was like, this is so dumb. And you're texting me like I'm ready to record, and I'm like, I'll be there in 20 minutes. Like the wind, I'm so bad at bike riding too. Like you'd think I literally felt like a 2-year-old.
Wait, can we go on a bike ride this weekend?
That would be so fun.
I would love to like wake up Sunday morning and like bike to get iced coffee.
Speaking of iced coffee,
Yeah.
this 3-year-old was walking in town, looking me up and down with an attitude, holding an iced coffee. And I was like, how young is too young to give children iced coffee? I'm like, what is she stressed about? Is she paying taxes later today? Like, what does she have to get done?
There's no way there was like real coffee in it.
It seems like an iced coffee where she was like, I have to do my Legos later. Like, I have so much work I have to get done. I have the Easy Bake Oven.
I haven't cleaned my Easy Bake Oven from that party I had. I actually don't think we talked about this on the pod. We talked about it at a live show. But Kristen Bell and Dax giving their
Yeah.
kids non-alcoholic beer. I
Yeah.
feel the same way about that as I do about giving kids coffee. Like, I just feel like that's something that they don't need to get the taste this young, because it's not like
Yeah.
beer, coffee, and wine is not a taste that you just taste it one day and you're like, oh, that's so good. You have to like keep having it and like get used to it, and then you're like, oh, this is good.
I still
love it.
can't drink black coffee. I still need like the sweetest wine ever. I'm a literal child.
Yeah, I still can't drink beer. Like, I can have maybe like a few sips of a Corona and lime, but other than that, I'm like, I can't.
That's why giving your kids non-alcoholic beer, it still tastes like. Give me the grape
Right.
juice. Give me the apple juice. I fetched up when I was a kid. Give me the like what is the juicy juices, and what's the fruit punch one? The high.
High C.
Give me that high C. Inject me with high C.
I get apple juice a lot more now because of you. Because I like forgot about it, you know? Like sometimes you forget how good apple juice is.
It's very sweet, but it's very bad for you. So I recommend you guys buy this thing on Amazon. It's called Sport Tea.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about Sport Tea?
No.
It's like this tea that like someone who climbed Mount Everest apparently drank.
Okay.
And it's tea, but it's so like lemony and citrusy. It almost tastes sweet, but
You
there's
drink-
no sugar.
You drink it cold or hot?
So before I go to sleep at night, I take my emotional support water bottle and I put the tea in it and I put it in. And then in the morning when I wake up just like gasping for water because I haven't drank water since 1992, I pull it out and I drink it and it's so good. Because my problem is with coffee.
Yeah.
I'm getting the works, okay?
Yeah.
I'm getting vanilla. I'm getting the cold foam on top. I'm getting whole milk. I might get a caramel swizzle.
I feel like that's like a fake. That's you and Craig are the same. That's like a fake coffee. That's not.
Sorry, I like
That's
to
a
have
dessert.
fun.
That's a dessert.
It is a dessert, but like I'm trying to have fun. You live one life. I'm like, why would I? And then Des drinks coffee, no sugar.
He's an adult.
I know.
He's done here.
What's your coffee order at Starbucks?
Iced coffee with whole milk, no sugar. Actually, speaking of our newsletter, I want in our next. We're newsletter girlies.
No, is this like a throwback? Because I don't even know where we came up with the idea. Someone messaged me. They were like, "Are people doing newsletters?" Yeah, we are.
You've been wanting to do a newsletter for a while. In our next newsletter, I'm going to put my smoothie recipe. But like I don't have like a legit recipe, but I'm going to tell you everything that I put in it. And each one, I'm going to take a picture of each one of my vitamins and I'll send it to Grace so that she can link like the exact vitamins that I throw in my smoothie each morning. Because I'm not kidding. My smoothies each morning have changed my life.
How? Like in terms of your energy?
Yeah.
We are officially starting a newsletter. We've wanted to do this for a really long time. And you're like, Hannah, Paige, you can't read or write. Why would you start a newsletter?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so many times after episodes, you guys will be like, what's that thing you talked about? I like that thing. What was Paige wearing? What was Hannah wearing? So I know not to wear it. And I feel like it's a perfect thing for each week, once a week, not annoying, to give you just a lay of the land of like stuff we're loving, stuff we're watching.
It's a recap.
A mental health moment to get the week started. And it's like super simple, just super fun. And
It's so that the gigglers have less admin. You don't have to go back to the
Yes.
pod, rewind, and be like, where did they talk about that? Let me remember that. Let me
Yes.
write that down. No admin for you. It's going to be all
Yes.
right there in your email.
and also give us feedback if you have any notes. We would
prefer
love that.
no notes, but if you do have them.
We also have a hat out because you guys went nuts over no notes, which like I think is gonna. It's my favorite thing to say. So we have a hat for no notes out. And if you want to subscribe to the newsletter, get the hat, go to giggly-squad.com. Also, final housekeeping. I'm going through a transition with Burning in Hell. She's transitioning.
What I'm obsessed. I think it's so good.
Well, the problem is that like I'm traveling so much in the next couple months. I also feel like the gigglers and the little devils are so funny.
Yeah.
Like you ever just look at the comments and you're like, these
Sometimes in my DMs, like I had this one girl who was like DMing me multiple things about something, and then the last DM was like, sorry to be a creepy hinge date and just like blow up your DMs like that. Like it was just so funny though. Yeah,
So
no, they're
funny.
hilarious.
So I've been wanting to do a pod where people can like submit in voice memos. So I kind of figured out how to do it, and I think I'm going to do it with Des.
I love it. And the
So
name of it is so good.
it's called Burner Phone. Go to Burning in Hell. It's slowly turning into Burner Phone. The first episode just dropped with Des, so go listen to it.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Thank you. This will be
Because
fun.
the gigglers also, like, they have some crazy stories.
Yeah, like they were telling me about beige flags, it's advice stuff, embarrassing moments. Like we'll see where it goes. And I think eventually we can do some of that with Giggly Squad too. It could be fun.
I was on TikTok and I saw this TikTok. Have you ever heard of the
The Bechdel test.
Bechdel test? Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I studied it in college. I was a women's studies minor.
Wait, I'm fascinated. Okay, so basically it's not like a thing that all movies like, oh, you have to like pass this test or anything, but it's basically if a movie passes this test, it's two female leads having a conversation in the movie that doesn't have to do with a guy, and like no movie passes it. Like one of the examples that was like all of the Harry Potter movies, none of them pass that. There is no female lead characters having a conversation that does not have to
Together,
do
not
together
talking about a man.
Yes. Which
Oh my
I just
God.
think is so crazy.
Yeah, but these are the little things that you don't realize is in our media that
Yeah.
makes us like have internalized misogyny and like the patriarchy. Just now I'm all worked up.
And I feel like as women, I do feel like I talk about guys the majority of conversations like I'm having with my girlfriends. Not all of them, but like, yeah, we're going to talk about like what's going on with like our
But
boyfriends.
the thing is,
or
so do men. Men are talking about girls all the time. They just don't show that in movies. Because it's from a male perspective, a lot of the writers.
Right. And I feel like it's more accepted to be like, oh, girls are always talking about guys because we're literally taught to talk about guys in everything that we see. And so I just thought it was like I was also very high when I was watching this, and I was just like, so
No, but I love this because
interesting.
we've been passing the Bechdel test so far. We talked about newsletters. We talked about little kids with iced coffee. I mean, this is why this is a
This is
feminist
a Bechdel test podcast.
This is a Bechdel test podcast. Wait, next time we talk about a guy, we have to be like, oh no, we didn't pass the Bechdel test.
Cute.
What's so interesting about it though is a lot of people didn't think that like women's stories people would want to watch, like women being multifaceted, and then now like people are realizing how much like even Barbie, like people would never think Barbie would be a movie that sells, and it's the top selling movie.
Now I can't think of the name. I think it's called She Said. Did you watch that movie about the New York Times like writers?
I didn't, but I want to.
You have to watch it. I think it was like one of the best movies ever. Well, one, I liked all the actors in it, so I'm like more prone to like a movie when I feel like I'm down with the actors. It was so good, and it was all about all women basically broke the whole scandal, like started to break it with like their articles. Harvey Weinstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the thing, when you're a girl and all you learn growing up is like the boys are busy like with businesses and creating things and solving problems, and the girls are busy chasing boys. That's not healthy.
No.
And that's why the Bechdel test is the ultimate decentering men from your life.
Yeah, no, it really is. I'm obsessed.
I love that for us. And the thing is, it is obviously so much fun to sit down and like gossip about dudes. It totally is. And they're doing it too. It's just in the media, it's so lopsided and it's not okay.
Yeah. I do feel like guys talk about women for sure, but I genuinely don't think they talk about them for as long as we talk about men.
Men don't like understand details.
No, they don't. They're stupid.
It goes like they would never explain a date like the way we would explain a date. They'd be like, she was fun.
She was there.
She laughed at my joke.
She was
so funny.
She was there. I was there. It was good.
Speaking of a man, I'm in the car with Des. I don't know why. He searched hairy Italians in podcasts. I think he was like looking for like a joke. He's like working on a bit. I don't know why he did it. And he goes, Hannah. And I was like, what? And he goes, do you know if you search hairy Italians in the podcast app, Giggly Squad comes up? Wait, can you search right now? I want to see if it's just like my weird algorithm. Go to the podcast app, search hairy Italians.
Someone's with us. Hairy Italians.
Italians.
Number 2. Hannah, we're literally number 2 after a legitimate show that's called Hairy Bikers and then Giggly Squad.
Okay.
Wait, what the? Hannah.
Part of me's proud. So anyway, shout out to all the hairy Italians that are listening and all the hairless blondes. We're accepting you into the cult.
Oh, man. That like makes me honestly really proud.
I have a crazy story I learned. Sorry, I'm breaking the... I'm talking about a man, but like...
Okay.
It's a story about a woman and a man.
Okay.
Now I'm all paranoid. Okay, so Des has a friend, John Bishop.
Okay.
Not related. Just... he's British. He's from Liverpool, and he's like a very famous comedian in Liverpool. When I tell you I cannot understand this man, when I was speaking to him, I started doing like hand movements. Like I was like podcasting, and Tess was like, Hannah, he speaks English. Why are you doing sign language? And I'm like, well, I can't understand his ass. And he's like, and I was like, that was not English.
Can I tell you that this exact same thing happened to Craig literally this past weekend? And he goes, I blame you because all you do is run around and doing different accents and like copying people's accents. And I think that Madison from Southern Charm has one of the best accents I've ever heard in my life. So like sometimes I'll just say really mean things to Craig, but I'll say them in Madison's accent because it sounds
can we do
nicer.
our Madison, please?
Like I will literally skin you from limb to limb. I will burn you and your family and then have you over for tea.
Sometimes I know your mother wished she never birthed you. Bless your little heart. Look, I love everything about you except your brain and your looks.
I think that you're not pretty. You're not physically fit. There's no redeeming qualities about you. And I don't know why you're here. No, she just like she can say the meanest things ever, but like it sounds funny in her accent.
You've embarrassed your entire family just existing. And I hope, bless your heart, I hope that you don't have a child.
I hope for humanity's sake you never procreate.
I really hope that your husband gets a little snip because that would make everyone in town feel much more safe. No, I was doing Madison's accent in old school Giggly Squad days. We always loved Madison.
I'm obsessed with Madison. So Craig is in Charleston and he's doing a meet and greet and this girl walks up and she has like a really thick Southern accent. He thought she was doing a bit. And as she's talking, he immediately like mimics her accent and talks back to her. And in his head, he's like, oh my God, like I gotta just like walk it off. And he said like in his head, he was like, you Paige, like I would have never done this if you weren't like running around doing accents all the time. So
Becca, when I visited Arkansas, had to sit me down and say, you cannot copy people's Southern accents because it's coming across rude. When they say, how y'all doing? And you go, how y'all doing? She was like, it's not nice.
But like I feel like if I met someone and they started like making fun of the way we talked, I don't think I'd be offended.
I think I also, like, I wasn't making fun of them. It's just if you're going to come up to me and be like, hey, Hannah, how y'all doing? I'm not going to be like, good, how are you?
Right. I'm not a robot.
It's human nature to be like kind of it's called like code switching, I think.
Yeah.
But it's basically like you want to mirror what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I came across like I was making fun of Southern people and I was like, sorry, we won the war. Don't come for me.
I just think Southern accents are so... Like, did you see that viral TikTok of like the little kid asking his sister if she even knew what a jelly bean was? Like, it was just...
No, Southern people are so funny.
It's so funny.
Like, I feel like I'd be funnier. We'd be funnier if we had a Southern accent.
Oh my God. We'd have a residency in Vegas.
We'd have a residency. So anyway, the story of this Liverpool man, I couldn't really understand what the story was. So I'm going to give you guys the brief like synopsis, but it was so fascinating. He's a very successful comic. And John Bishop, I'm sorry if I ruined the story, but I just think people will enjoy. Imagine if I forgot the story. After that whole lead up. No, okay, so long story short, he's 35 and his wife is divorcing him.
Okay.
Like she's like, I don't know who you are anymore, but I'm just not into this. I think they might have had kids at that point. Regardless, he spends like months just like lost, depressed, and he was like a marketing guy. And I think he like wanted to do an open mic, like a stand-up open mic. And he goes in and he's funny and he does well. Fast forward, he like a couple months later, he's like doing pretty well. He's at some clubs and he tells this joke about his wife. And then he looks into the crowd and his wife is there.
Stop.
His wife randomly went into a comedy club, didn't know he was doing comedy, and he's on stage and they lock eyes. So he's like, this is bad. She walks up to him and she goes along these lines, I missed this man. Like, this is the guy I love. and they got back together, and he became
Stop.
like the most famous comedian in Liverpool. He's huge now, and they have a happy family, and
He just needed
That's
to
the
find his way, and she had to like leave for him to like hit rock bottom without her.
yes, and I'm not saying to get back together with your exes, but it is an interesting thing where like he was not happy with himself, and
Yeah.
he took the time to kind of like find what brought him joy. And then mental health moment. You know how everyone's like, don't care what people think?
Yeah.
I don't think that's actually the line, because like obviously we all care what people think.
Right.
It's that when you really know how you feel about yourself, people will think differently about you. Like you're the one that's in control. Like, for example, I was biking today.
So we all think you're going on the Tour de France.
I was biking today.
So
and
you are a
someone-
biker.
This is a bike podcast. This is a biking podcast. And I remember some guy like went way past me, and I was like kind of insecure. I was like, oh my God, he's going so fast. And then I was like, no, I'm acting insecure. I'm on a leisurely stroll.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, I don't care. And then I realized it's what you put out that
Yes.
affects what people see.
Like you can it's not tricking people, but you can.
When you really are in your power,
Yeah.
like
Did
you're
you see that
influencing people around you.
today's like the most powerful day to manifest? Yeah. So write down everything.
Oh
you
no,
want.
why did I immediately get scared? Because we always manifest the wrong things. I do have to say, nothing against rich kids, but like
No.
in the summer, you really see who has money.
Yeah.
Like some people I'm like,
it's a lot.
wait, it's been 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like this summer in particular, I've looked at a lot of, and I'm not even saying like rich kids. Like I've looked at a lot of young couples and just like random people that I know, and I'm like,
They have foot only fan accounts.
yeah, like where is your money coming from? Because I know during the winter you're not at like a job.
Also, they'll come back, and then next week they're in Portugal.
They'll go again. No, that's been the craziest thing. I'm like, it's one thing to go and stay, but to
Yeah.
buy that flight back and then another flight there. No,
You're like time traveling at that point. No. My mom, I think our
Literally.
parents are very traditional, where like, I think when I first was like going to do something with Des, she was like, that's for your honeymoon.
yeah,
You don't, like you do that. And so then my parents are all confused when they see like people who aren't married going on these extravagant trips, but it's like, go for it. Like I support it. My thing is like, traveling is exhausting. I get so much anxiety. I don't like being away from butter.
It's
The
so
outfits,
tiring.
it's insane. The admin. But these people like are good at it. Like they know all the restaurants to go to.
There are some influencers that I watch, and I'm like, how did you pack for that though? How did you have that perfect little top that goes with that? That like, how did you plan all of that?
I'm wearing the same 3 things.
Yeah, I'm like, this is unrealistic.
Even if I do pack other stuff, that was a different girly in my head I packed for, because
Yeah.
Hannah in real life wants to wear something comfortable. I'm not wearing the tight, you
No.
know, corset that I packed to dinner.
No. And anything like in the summer that I'm like, oh, I'll wear like pants or like, no. I want to be in
Oh,
like
God,
a
like
dress.
jeans?
No.
No.
I need to breathe.
Speaking of
Breathing.
breathing, it's my birthday next week.
I know. Well, Saturday.
Okay, sorry, this week. I don't know what's going on.
I've already purchased your birthday gift and I'm so anxious for you, like, because I was looking at like a bunch of different ones and I was like, which one is the most Hannah, and like which one is she gonna be like, oh my God, the
You
Gen
go,
Z
which
girl
one
is
would make me want to vomit? Which one is ugly, ugly, ugly?
like, which
Okay,
one
this is
would
pretty.
I never use, but that Hannah would get a kick out of it.
But you are good at shopping for me, because I'll be like, is this good? And you're like, I can see you with that.
No, because I feel like there are things that I like that I'm like, ooh, that's like cool and quirky, that like it doesn't go with anything I have or something, that I'm like, oh, Hannah will wear this like in Lower East Side with like a long skirt and like sandals and it'll look really
Oh my
cool.
God. No, I for sure see stuff that I'm like, I could never pull that off, but Paige would look so good in it. When we create merch, our meetings are so funny, because I'm very obsessed with Y2K and 90s vibe right now. And Paige is obviously like classy,
We have
elevated
some limited to merch
aesthetic.
coming for the Hannahs.
We're just like in a creative space right now.
Yeah, I'm very in touch with my creativity recently.
I tried Lemmy gummies.
Oh, what do you think? I've tried a few of them. They taste really good. Do they work? I have no idea, but that's a great candy.
They taste a little too good,
Yeah.
okay? I mean, I was a fan of Flintstone gummies as a kid, swipe up. I don't know why anyone would take vitamins not in gummy form,
Yeah.
if you can. Like,
Yeah.
gummies are so fun.
So fun.
And I like the texture. They're cool.
Are you in like your vitamin era? Like are you taking one of them like once every day, or you were just
I
trying
take
it out?
Prozac.
Nice.
I take Prozac.
And that's really the only vitamin one needs.
I think that I'm a multivitamin girly, and I will buy a multivitamin, and I travel so much, like I never get in the hang. People don't talk about that, like when you have crazy travel jobs, it's so hard to get in a routine. Like, I mean, I forget my Prozac all the time.
Also, I just can't really I can't take pills. Like if I have a headache, yeah, I can take like 2 Advil, but I can't take like vitamins are big. And like
You literally deep throat every night, and you can't take one little pill.
No, I literally make myself gag, and I'm like, oh my God, do it. Even when I take Tylenol, everyone, if you ever watch me take Tylenol, people are like, what's your problem? I have to put my head all the way back. Like I have to put it in the back of my throat, take a sip of my water, and then throw my head back so that it like falls back because I can't do
You
it.
are so dramatic right now.
So dramatic.
You're gonna die. I'm a monster. I dry take it.
Hannah, are you kidding me?
No, because when I would play tennis every now and then, like I'd need an Advil or something. I'd just be like, go. But occasionally when you dry take it, it gets, you know when it gets stuck in your chest?
Yes.
For like 9 hours and you're like, ah!
Like it's still there. Like I one time got it stuck in my throat in high school, and I literally went to the nurse and I was like, I'm gonna suffocate. She was like, that's not how it works. I was like, call a doctor.
No, the key is to like, I mean, this is the problem. They're like long, so you can't have it go in the wrong way. It has to go in the long way. Long way.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I know what
like
you
a
mean.
bobsled.
Yes. Yes.
But you just have to get a lot of water and give it a gulp like you're doing a shot.
Just something about it, I can't do it.
I love how you
don't
took
know.
17 shots this weekend, but you can't take one tiny pill of a multivitamin.
Actually, I was even more ratchet than that. I drank like Red Bull vodkas all weekend, like a disgusting rodent that I am.
Oh, God.
I know. I don't know why I did it.
I don't know if multivitamins work. I know they probably do. I just don't know.
I'm actually on a very good vitamin like regimen. I'll put it in the newsletter too, like with my smoothie, all my vitamins.
I feel like if you take too many, you start to feel geriatric.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, Mondays we take this.
Yeah,
we
like
got 7 pills.
Like I did buy like a pill container from Amazon, and I was like, and it came in the mail, and I was like, it's giving diabetic, like it's giving, I don't know, it was just too much. I was like, I'm not 85 years old. I don't need to be putting my vitamins in all these like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like
Part of
pill
it is
capsules.
like sometimes less is more. It's like with your face, like how much stuff do you have to put on your face before it starts being like, okay,
it's too
this
much.
is.
Yeah.
I did hear that rose hip is very good for my sensitive combination skin. So I might start
Oh.
using rose hip.
Wait, I used to take those. You can take like rosehip oil. Yeah,
Oh, wow. What do you think of fish oil?
I take it. I take a B vitamin and fish oil and magnesium, and then my Nutrafol.
Did a doctor tell you?
Yes.
Oh. What happens if you don't take it?
Nothing. It's not like, I mean, the thing with vitamins is like you have to be taking vitamins for like 4 months to see any like benefits really. And it's like helping things inside your body that like you wouldn't even know, you know?
Wow. So definitely I would love to see those vitamins in your
In
the newsletter.
in my
But
newsletter.
also everyone, don't listen to it. Like, remember when we told you not to like take birth control? This is Paige's specific regimen. If you use it and like a leg starts growing out of your stomach, do not sue us.
I mean, it's just like they're like generic vitamins. It's not like I'm like telling anyone to like take 7 laxatives and then like do some cocaine. You know, I'm not.
Tummy tea was soaked up
There we
and
go.
no one talked about it.
Wait, what is?
Tummy tea.
No one talked about it enough.
Tummy tea's been real quiet lately. I want the documentary of tummy tea.
When I was dying on the toilet because I was literally passing a kidney stone or God knows what was happening to me, all I kept thinking was if I call my mom and tell her, she's going to be like, I told you not to be putting castor oil on your stomach every night, but you wouldn't listen to me. So I was like scared to tell her. But whatever. I'm going to go to the gynecologist and we're going to figure out what that was. I literally thought my uterus was coming out.
This is the problem with getting older too. Like, you have to make time for doctor's appointments. When do people make time for doctor's appointments?
No, I've been dreading it. Because here's the other thing. I don't want to go into the gynecologist and be like, oh, by the way, I went off my birth control. And her be like, who told you to do that? And me be like, Hannah. She's like, first of all, Hannah's not a doctor. Okay.
Do you know what? I call her my vaginista. My friend is a gynecologist, my mom's friend. I used to text this all the time to be like, hey, I ran out of birth control. Can I have more? Like I would lose it.
Yeah.
She was like, you need to get your together.
I feel like it's not that easy for whatever reason to find a good gynecologist in New York City. I don't know why I feel like that.
I want there to be like ZocDoc is amazing. I want there to be like more dating app format. Like you swipe through doctors.
Literally, I want it to be more dating app format.
I want them answering questions. What's your favorite hobby? At a party, where are you? Are you by the dog or the
Or
food?
the charcuterie. I want to see what the inside of the office looks like. I want to know like how many doctors are in there. Is it all women? How many patients? What's your specialty? Like, for whatever reason, when I do think ZocDoc is amazing, but sometimes like I'll make appointments and I'm like, this
I'm gonna
doesn't
die.
seem right.
This is where you
yeah, like
I've gone to
this-
some sketchy ones where I'm like, do you need to call my pharmacy? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh my God.
like, do I need a parent present?
Can we talk about how doctors are the people in the world who literally don't give a about you the most? And they're supposed to be the ones who are helping you. When they walk in, they don't even make eye contact. They're like a boy. They're 40 minutes late.
Yeah, they're like, this is routine. They're like walking in already washing their hands with like, and I get offended by it a little bit because I'm like, okay, you know, what happened in the room before that like you're immediately washing your hands now?
And then my favorite thing is how they ask you these questions so casually, and out of nowhere they're like, are you depressed? And I'm like,
Yeah.
warm me up a little before you just go for the jugular.
But also they're like being serious and I don't know if they're kidding. Like whenever I get the like, do you think you're depressed? like question, I'm always like, yeah, but who isn't? Like what the crazier thing is if you showed me 5 people who came in here and answered that question with no.
You answer
Like-
yes. Yes, obviously, yes. Next. Also, when they ask me if I smoke, I say no. And they always make me feel like I'm lying, or like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm lying. I feel like they think I have a jewel like hiding up my butthole.
Well, because I usually am lying. I'm like, it's none of your business.
They'll be like, weed? And I'm like, no. And they're like, jewel? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, why are you making it like I grow marijuana?
Yeah, they make it feel like you're a legit drug addict and
It's
drug
kind
dealer.
of, I know. It's kind of like whenever I walk through the airport, I feel like I did something wrong.
You think that you have cocaine in your pocket. You're like, I've never done cocaine, but why is it in my pocket every time I'm at the airport?
Also, every girl with a DHgate bag is like shaking since your story.
I went through it again in the airport using that bag in Canada. Like, I was really testing the waters, and I was fine. But I will say,
insane.
in Canada, when my bag was going through, the guy that was looking on the camera, my bag was in there, and he looked over to be like, whose bag is this? And then I think he saw me, and then he like let it go through. He's like,
He's
yeah,
like, she
an
can't handle the
idiot.
admin taking this plane down.
like, yeah, nope, not her.
Also, growing up in New York, I was like obsessed with Snapple. The raspberry iced tea. Are you kidding? The peach iced tea. Are you kidding? And then they have little fun facts. They didn't need to do that. Actually, Snapple it has their like version of a road trip going on right now. It's called a road sip. They're kicking it off.
I'm not throwing away her shapewear. I won't do
Oh, her
it.
shapewear is so good.
No, I won't do
I'm
it.
just interested to see what happens. We have to get more information before we get hotter takes.
But yeah, we'll definitely see how it unfolds. But how crazy. We literally had stopped recording last week, and then I got a text being like, did you see the Lizzo stuff? And I was like, holy Toledo.
No, it's insane. You guys, thank you so much for giggling with us today. We'll sign up for our newsletter at giggly-squad.com. I'm going to have Paige's smoothie in this first one that's going to go out. Let's put it out on Thursday. We love you so much, and talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.